Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. It is Monday, and I'm in my white undershirt, which means it's been a long day. It's been a long day, and I'm a little goofy right now because it's been a long day. Y'all just gonna have to bear with it because I felt there was a time where I was like, maybe I should just phone today in, but I won't. I'm not gonna do it. Because I don't just do this is not for me. This is for the Lord, and this is for y'all. And yeah, it was a little bit for me too. I can't say it's not. Welcome to the show, everybody. It is Monday. I have a silly hat on, but it is warm. This hat is unbelievably warm. And it is cold outside. It's been cold for a few weeks. And I'm just happy to be here. All right. It's a flawed man of God, and I am your host, Stuart Davis. Humble parishioner, small church just outside of Richmond, Virginia. Not a pastor, not a biblical scholar, haven't been to seminary. Obviously, just look at me. Nobody would take me seriously. I'm not trying to get you to join my church or donate to any special cause because why would you? Look at how I look. Ridiculous. I don't subscribe to any particular doctrine or denomination, just in the word daily. Trying to do it better each and every day. Sometimes I'll get it right. Many times I'll get it wrong. But what I'm here to do, because I've already messed up my intro horribly, is talk about God, talk about Jesus, talk about the Holy Spirit, talk about, it's a good, don't, Matt, you've ruined it. I'm here to talk about God, talk about Jesus, talk about the Holy Spirit, talk about the Bible, talk about Christianity, talk about a wide variety of different issues, topics, and current events, and give you my perspective of them, one that I think is reflective of your average Christian guy. I've been a Christian all my life, 41 years non-denominational Protestant. Don't subscribe to any particular doctrine or denomination, as I said before, and we're not going to get into that. So, if you're already interested in learning about God, if you are, um, if you're already interested in learning about God, if you're seeking Him, if you want to know more, if if you don't understand what we find so important about our faith, or what we find how much we revere and honor and worship Christ, but you want to know better, you feel like you need it too, but you're worried about somebody playing you along, being taken advantage of, maybe manipulated for somebody's own personal financial or whatever benefit. Well, tune in here because there is no financial benefit here. There is no desire um, to manipulate you into a certain way, except for I want you just to let Jesus into your life, into your heart, and allow him to guide you towards the path of salvation, because he can do it better than I. Of course he can. Look at me. I am ridiculous. Jesus, however, is not ridiculous. He is cool. He is awesome. And he has shown us so many very important ways um, to better understand the Word of God, the power that it has, and the promise that it holds. So I hope that this stream might be a place where you can find those answers and maybe get some guidance or get some perspective. Maybe find what it is you're looking for. Because God loves you and he wants you uh, to be part of his flock. So let him in and tune in. All right, tune in. This is a very relaxed and comfortable stream, as I'm about to tell other folks, because if you are already a Christian, you just enjoy Christian discussions and topics, welcome as well. Like I said, we run this very similar to a Wednesday night study group or a Sunday school. It is very relaxed, comfortable, informal, sometimes self-deprecating and not serious. But it is always a place that you can come and and kick your feet up and listen and hopefully find something that you just need to hear at the time. But no matter what, whether you've been a Christian all your life or you're just brand new to it, get in the chat. Be part of the group. Be part of the good, fine folks who tune in and night out, and who are commenting here right now. Be part of this group. Great group, folks, and we want to hear from you. What's your opinion? What do you think that I'm right about? What do you think that I'm wrong about? What is it that we are discussing that you might have a unique insight to or an experience that you could share? Maybe you just want to get something off your chest. Maybe you just want to spout off with your opinion. Doesn't matter. Get in the chat. We want to hear it. And the community is small enough now that I promise you, if you put it in that chat, I will read it and respond to it. So, without further ado, let's get into the show. I have asked Blaine, asked some of the other folks. Matt, I do have overalls. And I was quite tempted to just put them on just now. I am coming up on a year since my last big batch, or decent size, I say big batch, decent sized batch of viewers have come in. The Rittenhouse interview that Nick Rekieta did, that I put the little blurb in and he read for me. It's nice of him. Of course, I also paid for him to do it. But, like he said, he's been on the show. We're buddies. And, it's good to see that some of you guys came in at that point. I think Emmanuel Osorio was part of that group. Carl may have been part of that group. I'm trying to think of who else. So, all right. So Dresden, welcome as well. Thad the Man is here. Hello, Dresden. Are you a fan of Jim Butchers? I don't know where we're going with that. Carl's here. Evening, gents. How's it going? We've got warm weather on the way. Carl, it's okay. Blaine's Escape Corner is here as well. Yo, again, big shout out to Blaine. Had 1,000 subscribers last week and was promptly slapped with a copyright warning, I think, some sort of content warning from YouTube, because that's how YouTube does. They don't actually treat you like a valued member of their team. They treat you like an inconvenience. Like they just have to tolerate you. And they are looking for the slightest reason to unload you or to chastise you. I don't know. Maybe it's a power trip. YouTube's horrible. But hey, I can put it out, put the word out here. Matt Felty said Mountain Man Psalms edition. More like Mad Bomber Man. No. Well, if you guys play Clash of Clans, you know what I'm talking about. Bomber Skeleton. Blaine said cold. Oh no, my EV won't work. According to all the commenters, it does have an effect. It does have an effect. Why no suspenders? I think I still have a set of suspenders left, but I don't really wear. I don't have a need for suspenders. What's going on, Jenny ELJ? Welcome this Monday evening. Matt says sometimes I wait until intro is done, not to distract, because I couldn't resist tonight. It's not a distraction. Look, we got to get the small talk out of the way so we can talk about what's important, which is the word. But we're, like I said, we are a community, right? If you're in a Sunday school, if you're in a small group, you're with people who you care about, right? And sometimes you just chew the fat a little bit, and that helps you kind of ease into the discussion. Ease in. Jenny ELJ, do you think the Kansas City Chiefs will win their next game? Off topic, I know. It's okay. I'm hoping they do. Hoping they do. I am not. I am big disappointed in Travis Kelce with his choice of girlfriends and his choice of sponsors. Um, I'm not specifically talking about State Farm. I was talking more about Pfizer, but I've had a negative run in with State Farm as well because I had them as my insurance provider for since I could drive, which was a long time ago, right? I got my license right at 16, and they and my parents made me pay for my car insurance as part of being responsible. But I'm 41 now, so that's a long time. And they decided that after one incident, one um, accident that was my fault, and a couple of other accidents that were not, that they would just drop me without telling me, except for at the last minute, going, "Hey, oh by the way, your coverage is ending in 3 days. Hope you secured coverage." And there was a whole big thing. I talked to my agent. He was just like, "Oh," who is friends with my dad. Like they go back a long way. So like, there's nothing I can do. I was like, okay, well, guess what? Taking my homeowners insurance with me, and uh, I am now insured with Travelers. Thad the Man. I was listening to Puff the Magic Dragon. That's as far as you're going to get me to sing. And couldn't help but think that Puff is God and little Jackie Paper is us when we sin. We never consider the cost to God when we sin. Sin is abhorrent to God. But sin is stronger than, or sorry, God is stronger than sin. Sin can be easily snuffed out. But I think more along the lines is sin occludes our focus on God, and it separates us from our side. But I like because I do this as well. I take songs and I read into them, and I'm like, not just songs, books, video games, anything with a story or some sort of comprehensive message. How do I make this relevant to my faith? I do that all the time. So I think that's cool, and that's a good that's cool analogy. Copyright strike from TV Tokyo. Here, let me put on Blaine. Let me put on my Enola Gay hat, and you can tell him B-29 Stratofortress Bombardier. Veritex. Okay, late. Sorry. Is the hat a fashion statement or is your heat out, Stu? No, my heat's good, but I was wearing this earlier today when I was out of the house and out in the elements. And let me tell you, these things, I can't, especially if you live in a cold climate. You probably already know this. These things keep your head warm and they're comfortable. Oh, it's so soft. So soft. This is not otter fur, but I mean, if it was softer, I would kill one of my favorite animals of all time and skin them for the feel that you get out of wearing hats like this. I think this is wait. I'm trying to remember what animal fur this is. I can't remember. I picked it up off the side of the road. Vertex, not a chance. Ravens defense is brutal, but here's the thing. Andy Reid, who is an offensive genius, has seen to have John Harbaugh's number in the past. If he's just figured him out, and if he matches up his game planning and his thought process or whatever, his tactics just match up well against John, it'd be a bad day. Plus, Chiefs are kind of a different animal in the playoffs than they are in the regular season. It just hits different. But look, let me first tell you, Ravens are a problem for everyone. For everyone. But everybody's been hating on my man Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy, who is very public and unafraid to proclaim his faith in Jesus. A man who was drafted dead last a couple of years ago and is doing the best, and it's shown that he is smart and capable, even though he might lack a lot of the overtly physical traits that some of the more physically gifted quarterbacks have. If you compare him to Jordan Love of the Packers, and they faced off, Jordan Love, taller, faster, more athletic, bigger arm, probably stronger. But Purdy seems to be able to process defensive schemes better. Seems to be able to go through his progressions more efficiently, and he keeps his cool when he needs to. Jordan Love did not. He's there, and Jordan Love's been in the league longer, though. Purdy has been starting for longer. And his choice of brother fans, I'm going around Buffalo without a shirt on. Well, I mean, that's just fitting in with Buffalo, to be honest with you. I felt so bad, and I got some friends who are Buffalo natives. One in particular I reached out to when that kick went wide right. I wanted the Chiefs to win. I didn't want them to win like that. I didn't want it to be a missed field goal wide right. Buffalo does not deserve that. And it's an easy team to root for, right? Small market team. They got a quarterback who's affable and just like and aw shucks, kind of like Chris Pratt, and not so goofy as Chris Pratt in Parks and Recreation, but he just something about Josh Allen reminds me of him, Andy, but not in a dopey fashion. The Adamant Veritax. What sort of fashion statement would that be? He had his shirt off. Jason Kelsey had his shirt off. So Blaine said, "Are you going to send me the stuff for your intro when I have a free moment that isn't occupied with some other stuff?" I thought I was going to have some free time this weekend, and I did, I think, at some point, but I can't remember. It's a haze. That's how I ended up with this hat on. It's cool to be on YouTube. I got nothing otherwise. Said my broker set me up with Granger. Was a third of the cost of State Farm. I don't know what Granger is. I do know Travelers. Travelers been around a while. In fact, I'm pretty sure the gentleman I bought this house from, who had the house built, was worked for Travelers. I think. Anyway, but what I like about Travelers is they don't spend a ton of money on advertising like Geico, Progressive, State Farm. Imagine the amount of money that could be saved to be invested into better insurance coverage and maybe lower premiums if they just didn't advertise once every commercial break. It is insane the amount of money they have to be spending on advertising. And I think we all know that they exist. And I don't think it takes the amount of push from them to make that happen. Veritax said it's been single digits every morning this week. Yeah, well, Is it 40 degrees in Virginia? It's chilling off. It started off 17 this morning. That's when I was out and about for the most part today. And then I think by the time I got home, it was in the mid 40s, and now it is 30. It is back down to freezing. Chinchilla is super soft. Well, guess I'm gonna go out to the pet store. Temperature was 5 this morning. Forget what real feel was, but what it was under what is under 15 degrees. Of course it was. Jay said Niners might win too against the Lions. I'm rooting for the Niners. We were all Lions fans yesterday. Good buddy of mine is a Lions fan. He's from Michigan. Really happy for him. He's just great guy, and you just feel bad for the Lions because they just no success, barely at all, barely any playoff, any type of experience since I was a kid. And so it's nice to see them get some playoff success, but hopefully that ends. We will probably be hanging out together, possibly in this very room, on game during the game this weekend. But it'll be nice. It'll be nice to see. Just nice to experience that. Matt Felty said questionable calls normally go Chiefs' way. One's on judgment versus videos, that is. Sometimes, but not always. Not always. I've seen questionable calls not go their way. It is what it is. That said, Purdy should believe in God. His career is a miracle. I think so. I don't think he. I like him. I like the kid. He seems like he's got a great attitude, and that's you want your quarterback to be kind of the calming force, especially when you're surrounded by that much talent. And look, especially with those wide receivers, there's usually a lot of ego, and it's nice, and a lot of high octane feelings. It's good to be the eye of the storm and to just be with it. And so I like the kid. Hope the best for him. I actually hope they win it all. That's I want the Niners to win outright and finally bring home that Super Bowl that has eluded them since the days of Steve Young. Because right now, it's still Joe Montana's team. So the Niners have a good defense. I'd love to see the Lions make it, but I just don't see how. We'll see. They match up. It's going to be, to me, it's a good matchup. Bad PI call would have been a different outcome on which one? Because I didn't see pass interference on either of the two bombs from Josh Allen, but I don't know. Yeah, all of Virginia might be at 40 degrees. Maybe not on the coast. I don't know. I don't know how cold. Veritex, I have family that are Buffalo fans. I get it. They get it. And not only that, you got to remember, they're not just Buffalo Bills fans. They're Buffalo Sabres fans, and that team sucks. That team is just a poorly run organization. I thought Granger was a supply company. They are, in my opinion. USAA is worth a call. I qualify for them, but Travelers have been good to me so far. So no reason to change. They gave me the best rate. They gave me a better rate than USAA. Purdy is a better QP than people give him credit for. He's not a first rounder. He's the opposite of that, and he will make some bad reads, but he's gaming. He is a gamer. Yeah. Want to talk about no ad spend? You don't even know Granger. I know exactly. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking the 40th parallel. Matt Felty was sub-zero for 3 days. And the worst of the weather is over from Thad until it comes back. I want snow, though. I want some snow. It's not too late for that. I have empathy, though, as I strongly dislike the cold. I don't like being cold, but I like being surrounded by it. Veritex, I watched Purdy a lot in the Big 12. He's a baller. Reminds me of a smaller Drew Brees. Man, if he could carve out a career like Brees, that'd be great. Oh, Lions. Wait, Lion sub and PI on late fourth quarter rub impacted the last two I watched. You're talking about the Lions Buccaneers game? Jason, I'm cheering for the Niners. Local team for me. Oh, California gal. California gal. Well, that is a crazy place to be. Crazy place to be. But I am a Niner fan from back in the Joe Montana, Roger Craig, John Taylor. Dwight Clark was a little bit before my time, but obviously it's Jerry Rice, Charles Haley, Ronnie Lott. Those days. Those days. The one against Bills D on the rub route late in the fourth. I can't remember that one exactly. But you know, they were starting to put the screws to the Bills towards the end. They had figured the defense, they'd figured the offense out, and they'd the the defense wasn't holding them back very very easily, and that's the problem with that was the problem that the Bills had going into that. Their linebacker core was non-existent. I think they had two linebackers at the end of the game. Granger is supply. Oh, you're right with the spelling. Daggone it. Granger is insurance, but use an insurance broker. I've got a broker. That's how I got the Travelers. Like Erie Insurance. No, we got Erie down here. Thad, the Chiefs are getting annoying. Brittany spraying fans with champagne. Jackson sexual assault and gets away with it. Kelsey's girlfriend and QB who says the referees shouldn't call a penalty when it was. I think obviously wasn't a penalty. So I like Mahomes. I think Mahomes is frustrated with his wide receivers, especially at that point. Frustrated with his wide receivers' performance, but didn't want to take it out by saying, there's one way when you call your players out, which I don't think he believes, and I don't think that's an Andy Reid philosophy. You build people up instead of calling them out. Sometimes it works. Worked for Jordan Love apparently because his coach called him out in a press conference, and he played lights out up until last week or this weekend, and he did pretty well then. But I don't think that fits in what how Andy Reid runs his team. I think Mahomes is an extension of that, and I think that going after the refs was kind of a way to lash out at that. You got to think the kid is still 27. This is the worst receiving core he has. I give people grace on that. I think he's a decent guy. I think he's a good ambassador for the sport because he doesn't do dumb stuff. However, Brittany and Jackson are questionable personalities at best. Kelsey's girlfriend, I don't particularly care for Taylor, but look, and a lot of y'all might not realize this. Andy Reid has got a history of, I don't want to get into it, but he's got his own demons, and it doesn't really have to worry about say maybe some of his choices, but the choices of family members. He has one. I think both of his sons have passed away. One from a drug overdose and one from suicide, maybe. I can't remember. Rumor today was Bills may fire McDermott, hire Bill Belichick to replace. I think it's crazy talk. Yeah, I don't know. Steve Hawley says you're old. Steve is the brother of my friend from Michigan who is the Lions fan. However, Steve is in the unfortunate position of not being a Lions fan and enjoying this playoff run. He is a Steelers fan who, while enjoying much more success throughout his lifetime, is currently left out in the cold with the team that's still searching for answers. Vertex, see if Buffalo had watched Stu and Blaine shows, they would have won. Maybe. Don't listen to me. Just listen to scripture. Don't listen to me. Nat Felty said, "Egos make me dislike the Chiefs. Egos made me walk away from football and not watch it at all." Um, Veritex said, "No, I said maybe Granger is regional." Oh, I don't know. I don't think so. I think Granger's pretty big. I think Granger's huge. I think they might even have their own college bowl. I don't know. Everybody seems to these days. Does anyone remember that all-time great from Polk High, the quarterback? Are you talking about Bradshaw? I'm just asking. Oh, never mind. How did I forget that, Al Bundy? How did I miss that dick on it? Yeah, you mean Jordan Love was playing lights out until he decided to emulate Brett Favre in Candlestick? Who? Candlestick. Ed O'Neill, who was on the Steelers practice squad. Hey, um, forget. Y'all forget. Um, Phil Robertson from Duck Dynasty. Terry Bradshaw was his backup quarterback at LSU or in high school. I think it was LSU, though. That I'm talking about the KC Dallas game and Kelsey's lateral, which was a penalty. I was too. That's what I was talking about. The Kelsey's lateral wasn't a penalty, but the offsides was definitely a penalty. Now I can understand if maybe, they had been calling it a penalty all game, but everything. But I see offsides all the time, and I don't understand how you do it. Right? You see the ball, so I think it's harder for wide receivers because you're further away from the ball. It's harder to see kind of line that up unless you're on an actual like painted line. But you see defenders. I'm like, dude, that guy is in the neutral zone. I remember a pass to a running back behind the line of scrimmage is a running play in the read system. There's a lot of weird stuff in the read system. Granger's definitely state specific. I know they aren't in Arizona. Well, neither is daylight savings. So that's not a. It's not a. Bill Grogan's goat was feeling. Oh, man, I don't understand that one. Alex Moore is here. Welcome as well. Veritex sees false start. I'm all caught up. All right, and we're going to go forward with the. Go forward with the show. Oh, by the way, if you're still watching, Mr. Hawley, thank you for the like on Facebook. I am pretty sure that I am shadow banned on Facebook. Tell Mrs. Blaine, tell Mrs. Escape Corner, I said happy birthday. Hope you all have a great time. All right, let's see. Let me pull it up here. We are on Psalms 62 and 63. Right? Wait a minute. Hold on. 63 and 64. Let me fix the banner. All right. Unprofessional, Stuart. Awfully unprofessional. All right. So we have been moving our way through the Psalms of the Bible, and we've been having a great time of it. Do not believe, as I've said this before, do not believe the line in Monty Python and the Holy Grail when he goes, just long like those miserable Psalms. They're so depressing. I have not been depressed. There are some heavy subjects, but there is a lot of um, there's a lot of heavy psalms, but there's a lot of joyful, um, real gratitude, real worship, real faith that you get out of David's words, at least as far as we've gotten so far. And yeah, you've got Psalm 23, which is a little somber, but again, there's a lot of power. There's a lot of powerful emotions that come through these different psalms. Some of it's a little, and I'm not going to lie to you, a lot of it's really repetitive. Your guys are probably getting that impression. But studying a couple of psalms, studying a couple of the fundamental truths of our faith every day isn't a bad thing. It's repetition, and that can help put you in the right state of mind. I certainly haven't regret. I am certainly not upset about it. I like what we do. It is difficult for me at times because sometimes I think that psalms are going over my head, and maybe I don't understand them the way I'm supposed to. But I feel like I'm getting some real meat out of it anyway. But just sometimes there's just some references. Oh, I forgot to talk to Eric Roll on this weekend too. We're gonna talk. We'll get him. I'm gonna get him on. Don't worry. Steve said, "I'm here. It's the hat. Probably too hot. It's fine. It's only baking my brain from the inside." Let's get it on, as they said in the old celebrity death match. So, biblical psalm match. Psalm 63 of 150. Joy in the fellowship of God. A psalm of David when he was in the wilderness of Judah. Alex, you shouldn't be having these feelings about me. A psalm of David when he was in the wilderness of Judah. Remember, he's on the run, right? Oh God, you are my God. Early will I seek you. My soul thirsts for you. My flesh longs for you in a dry and thirsty land where there is no water. So I've looked for you in the sanctuary to see your power and your glory. Because your loving kindness is better than life, my lips shall praise you. Thus I will bless you while I live. I will lift up my hands in your name. My soul shall be satisfied as with marrow and fatness, and my mouth shall praise you with joyful lips. Footnotes on A and B. Abundance. Fat and abundance. Marrow is, we'll get into that in a minute. When I remember you on my bed, I meditate on you in the night watches, because you have been my help. Therefore, in the shadow of your wings, I will rejoice. My soul follows close behind you. Your right hand upholds me. But those who seek my life to destroy it shall go into the lower parts of the earth. They shall fall by the sword. They shall be a portion for jackals. But the king shall rejoice in God. Everyone who swears by him shall glory. But the mouth of those who speak lies shall be stopped. Good one. By the way, um, I'm not going to, Mr. Hawley, he has cause for great praise. Praise to you and your great news. I'm not going to get into it, but I think everybody should know, if you're putting your praises in, put a big praise in for the Hawley family. Great news. Past week? I think it was this past week. Okay, got it. And Steve, you're a good dude. You're the brother of a friend of mine, but you are also a friend of mine. All right, let's get into this. So the beginning, a little bit different. little bit, like I said, we've seen a little bit different tone, a little bit different syntax maybe from David in some of these uh later psalms that we've read. But oh God, you are my God. Early will I seek you. He's not asking for things. He's not talking about how great God is, but he is talking about God. I need you. I need you, but I'm aware enough and probably mature enough in my faith with you that early I seek you. The first thing I think of when I wake up is God. Soul thirsts for you, flesh longs for you. Everything about me craves more of a relationship with you. In a dry and thirsty land where there is no water, I might be without physical things that I need, but that doesn't get in the way of my faith in you. That's what I'm getting after that. One second. That man said, I wonder if the first line reads Yahweh, you are my God, or El Elyon, you are my God. I don't know. I'm not a translator. All I can tell you is that's what it says. So, but I know what you mean. Oh God, you are my God. Like saying, hey, you particular, you specifically, you are my God. Of course, they notice at least the way they structure it here. You in this throughout, not just this psalm, but all the other psalms. You is generally capitalized because it's referring to God as you. So they're putting importance and emphasis on the fact that you is God with a capital Y. Um, the part of the reason that it throws me off and I have to reread some of these things is because the punctuation isn't clear. A lot of these um all these lines start with a capital letter, even if they follow a comma, and it just I feel like I just would have organized it easier for my ADHD mind to read. So anyway, that's a sidebar. But you know, I have looked for you. So I have looked for you in the sanctuary to see your power and your glory. So he's getting up, despite other things in my way. David is saying my physical needs and everything, they all come secondary. You are more important, and seeking you is more important. That's what said. David is such a great example of real faith. Because your loving kindness is better than life, my lips shall praise you. Thus I will bless you while I live. I will lift up my hands in your name. My soul shall be satisfied as with marrow and fatness, which apparently means marrow means fat and fatness means abundance. So my soul shall be satisfied with fat and abundance. So greatness. And my mouth shall praise you with joyful lips. God's blessings and trust. And look, we all know David's king. He is uniquely, I don't maybe say uniquely, but he has been given great blessings and great responsibility by God. So him more than most people maybe appreciates the things that God can give you, the things you can do through God. He slew David, or I'm sorry, David slew Goliath with nothing more than rocks and God. And the only reason he grabbed the rocks is it's like I need something, right? I need something to send towards towards Goliath. But he goes, I got this bag. I'm gonna take these stones and I'm gonna beat that giant. And he's got the confidence in that, even at that age. And he comes up talking smack. he goes up to he goes up to Goliath talking smack. It's really hilarious, but also awe-inspiring. Many of you probably hasn't haven't been faced with a combat combat or a situation where you are one on one with probable life with it's a life and death altercation. That's the best way. A life or death altercation. Most of you have probably not been through that. The feeling of your mortality can change based off of how much your blood is up. But the weight of what's going on is going to hit you either before or after. But it's easy to go up in the with the amount of, usually that stuff when it's happening right in the moment. David went up there, challenged him, called him out, came out there. There was dialogue, there was talk between the two. Goliath is huge. Do we need a reminder on how big Goliath was? Let's go through it. How big was Goliath? Let's go to the National Catholic Register. So at least 9 feet 9 inches. Some people say. Oh, it's giving us a bunch. Hold on. Let's find something a little bit a better crossway. Got questions. Got questions. Always good. Okay, 9 feet 6 inches. 9 feet tall. Let me see if I can find a visual aid. How big was Goliath? Images. Stop screen. There we go. Wait, that's the wrong one. Ah, there it is. That's a fully grown. That's a full. Well, 5 feet 8 inches. Look, I'm 6'3", right? Everybody. The difference. I subscribe to the Nick Ricada size chart. What's the difference between 5'11" and 6 feet? 6 feet. But still, full grown man at 5 foot 8 inches. A little bit on the short side of during our time. But that is a man dressed for war. 9 feet 6 inches is almost is daggone near twice his height. Those of you, I don't look up to a lot of people that you meet out in everyday land. I mean, the basketball players, obviously, they're you're always um, but I know when I look at somebody when somebody comes up to me who is 6'5", 6'7", and it has a 4 6'7" is 4 inches on me, or no, 6'7" is 5 inches on me. It's it's a little concerning, especially me. I'm caught off foot because, like I said, 6'2". I'm not. I don't look up to a whole lot of people, but it's kind of like, whoa, that's incredible. Now that's just 5 inches. The scale is not just height; it's width. how wide a guy was, and the size of his equipment is incredible. His bronze armor alone weighed 125 pounds. Let's see if I can get Goliath's weapons. Goliath, because I can't remember all the time. Why is Necromundo coming up? Bible. Sorry for the dead air, guys. Yeah, it's not giving me the weight. I had this somewhere because when we covered it, had it all. Okay. Here we go. Spear weighed 33 pounds. 33 pounds, 12 ounces. It was 34 pounds. 12 length is 12 feet 7 inches. The warhead alone was 16 pounds 11 ounces. 26 inches long. 7 inches wide. Counterweight was 6 pounds. These are the sizes of infants. That's how much these weigh. That is a heavy thing to be throwing around or to be pushing out. Dude, the weight and the scale of what he had, and I've gotten us completely sidetracked now. I'm sorry about that. The weight and the scale of all that is just incredible. But he pumps up nonstop. God's got me. God's got my back because you're loving. That's how David was. My lips shall praise you. Thus I will bless you while I live. You have given me a blessing that is life. It's better than life. What I have coming for me after life is much better. So I am content with anything you give me here. And I will still praise you with joyful lips. When I remember you on my bed, I meditate on you in the night watches. Something I really um relate to here. Right nighttime, as I'm going to bed, that's there's a lot of one-on-one time with God that I spend really really talking with him and trying to figure things out. In fact, I was talking to my eldest daughter tonight. We were having a big a big long talk about communication. But it was things to talk about God. It's like, look, I have worries, I have concerns, I have things that bother me, and I talk to God about them all the time. I make sure I thank him every single night for you and your brother and your sister and your mom. It's like I thank him every single night for them. for all of y'all because it's great and it's outstanding. And it's amazing. Such an amazing blessing. Then meditate on you in the night watches. Yeah, it's a great time. It's a great time to reflect on the day, reflect on your troubles, reflect on your joys and praises. Be thankful. Be open. Be communicative. Open your heart. He knows what's in there, but he wants you to go about um, talking with him. We don't exist on his level that we just know, right? So we need to go through the motions of that communication. But those who seek my life, wait, hold on. Sorry, that was the first part. Because you have been my help, therefore in the shadows of your wings I will rejoice. My soul follows close behind you, your right hand upholds me. The first part I think goes, or this middle part of this little section goes with the first part. Because you have been my help, therefore in the shadow of your wings I will rejoice. I think that goes along with, meditating on you in my in the night watches. You've been there for me. I have reasons to praise you. I will rejoice. I will be happy with what you've given me. Which is which is the other side of what we see with Job when he has lost so much and doesn't understand why and cries out to God in frustration. It's not all rainbows and unicorns. We go through trials and tribulations because we're going to see that those who seek my life to destroy it. David still has enemies. All these blessings, of course David has enemies, but he still knows that they are very real. But he knows that God has his back. In this life or the next, those adversaries of God and what they stand for are, or what they stand for are going to meet their demise. The war is already over. Jesus won that war when the moment he rose from the dead. So the war is up. War's been over for thousands of years. Satan's just trying to get whatever he can before it ends, or before Satan's just trying to get whatever he can before whatever is going to happen happens. Don't be that. Don't be a casualty on that side, because there are no casualties on our side. But the king shall rejoice in God. Everyone who swears by him shall glory. Doesn't make sense. That last part doesn't make sense, but I think you can figure it out. Everyone who swears by him shall be glory, or shall glory. But the mouth of those who speak lies shall be stopped. There you go. Good wins, evil loses. It's the way it works, guys. Everybody want to talk about George Martin and Game of Thrones. Oh, look, it's realistic. The realism. Good wins, evil loses. In the end, that's it all wrapped up. So Matt Felty says Thad the Man, Blue Letter Bible translate Elohim as El. Jenny ELJ, I live in SoCal, not life or death, but school drop-off line, man. Some crazy drivers look, man, that is not so limited to SoCal. I know that y'all have insane traffic, but look, the school drop-off line is no joke. I will give credit to our school. They have used the time where much of the bus usage was cut out during COVID. They used that time to really make the school bus line, school drop-off line, super efficient. This past year, they took a lot of my complaints. Not that they didn't do it because I complained. They did it because they knew that it was a problem and put them into effect. And man, it is a breeze now. It is a breeze. And good for them for being efficient. All right. Psalm 64. It's a little short, but hey, so maybe we'll wrap this up shortly, or maybe looks are deceiving here, and we will a have a long discussion. Alex said, definitely do not miss the days of school drop off. I'll miss them just because I enjoy I enjoy doing it. Oppressed by the wicked, but rejoicing in the Lord. To the chief musician, a psalm of David. Hey, I got a new subscriber. It must be the hat. I'm not look, this hat's coming back. My wife gave me this hat. I only did this hat today to be silly because I was feeling silly and I was thinking about not streaming, but then I was look, not getting into that. Sarah says, "Hey, if you want to make sure you don't finish it today, invite me on. If you want to come on the show, Serranos, just let me know. I want to a little late to come on now, because I do want to get through this, but you are more than welcome to come to be on stream. Any of you really. If y'all want to be on stream while while I'm reading through, that's fine. I'm just the host. Like I said, you guys are part of the show. God, my God. Thank you, Matt. Hear my voice, O God, in my meditation. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret plots of the wicked, from the rebellion of the workers of iniquity, who sharpen their tongues like a sword and bend their bows to shoot out arrows, bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the blameless. Suddenly they shoot at him and do not fear. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They talk of laying snares secretly. They say, who will see them? They will devise iniquities. We have perfected a shrewd scheme. Both the inward thought and the heart of man are deep. But God shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly they shall be wounded. So he will make them stumble over their own tongue. All who see them shall flee away. All men shall fear and shall declare the work of God, for they shall wisely consider his doing. The righteous shall be glad in the Lord and trust in him, and all the upright in heart shall glory. There it is again. Does it make sense grammatically? It must be a King James thing. All right. Going through this, 64 starts off. This is much more traditional David psalm structure here. Hear my voice, O God, in my meditation. God, I'm reaching out to you. Please listen to me. I've heard that plenty of times in the past 60 some psalms. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy. This is his request. There's an enemy involved. This is very very much true, I guess quintessential David psalm. Hide me from the secret plots of the wicked, from the rebellion of the workers of iniquity, who sharpen their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, bitter words. They may shoot in secret at the blameless. Suddenly they shoot at him and do not fear. So, preserve. Oh, thanks, Steve. Still, it's the hat. Hide me from the secret plots of the wicked, from the rebellion of the workers of iniquity, who sharpen their tongues like a sword. All this stuff. These guys, I have enemies. They're out to get me. They're not so overt as a enemy I would face on the battlefield. These are guys that are working in rebellion. These are guys within. These are guys that I trust. These are guys that are supposedly loyal to me by what they say, but secretly they're not. Secretly, bitter words they're using as weapons. They shoot in secret at the blameless. They shoot at him and do not fear. There we go. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They talk of laying snares secretly. They say, who will see them? They devise iniquities, all in the shadows. The title of this before was Oppressed by the Wicked, but Rejoicing in the Lord. We're seeing the wicked. This is him describing the wicked. Encouraging themselves in an evil matter. They think that they're going to get away with it. They find ways to be dastardly, the dastardly bad guys. Perfected as fruit. They are plotting. Both the inward thought and the heart of man are deep. You can see, which is a truism. Mankind is capable of great acts of kindness and great acts of evil. It is discouraging how poorly we treat those around us, and how poorly we generally behave as a group. And there are opportunists in our midst who don't have scruples or values or morals. They are only out for themselves. And it's sad. I hope none of you are like that. I don't get that impression from any of you. But maybe, and if that's the case, maybe you have the same problem that I have, is you can't wrap your head around why somebody would act in that way. Why would somebody be disloyal? Why would somebody view some personal gain as more important than loyalty or love for your fellow man, or just doing what God commands us, which are good things? Why would somebody not subscribe to that? But they're out there, and maybe they just don't understand me for why I do these things. But I don't know. I know I'm doing the right thing in that instance, in that theoretical bubble or whatever. Both the inward thought and the heart of man are deep. We have deep good and deep bad. But God shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly they shall be wounded. So he will make them stumble over their own tongue, because they live by the flesh. Amen. Disloyal to God? Yeah. We've seen plenty of that. I mean, Judas, great example there. There are other examples. Saul was disloyal to God. Several Jeroboam, the first king of Israel, or the king that took over Israel after Solomon, when Israel split into the nation of Israel and Judah. And Rehoboam took over that. He was disloyal because he was rewarded and given Israel by God, but decided to go his own way and worship other gods. They have plenty of folks disloyal to God because they live by and that's like Steve said. So they live by the flesh. But God shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly they shall be wounded. So he will make them stumble over their own tongue. Eventually, Balaam the prophet. Good one, Matt. Good example. Eventually, it's all going to catch up to you. And all who see them shall flee away. All men shall fear, and they shall declare the work of God, for they shall wisely consider his doing. That's wrong. This needs to go this way. Wisely consider his doing. The righteous shall be glad in the Lord and trust in him. And all the upright in heart shall glory. Just like the last one. Good guys win, bad guys lose. Good guys win and bad guys lose. All right, that's going to be the show tonight. Nice start off. Great attendance. Great crowd of y'all on Monday. Great message. or even better message. Sorry, the scripture is more important than all of you, but I'm glad to have you all around. Um, Steve, welcome to the YouTube side of the chat. Glad to have you here. You're, like I said, you're a good dude. Um, and I'll go down and do my normal routine. Jenny ELJ, Steve Hawley, Matt Felty, Saran. Let's put the hat back on. I was complimented on my hairstyle yesterday, by the way, and because normally my summer cut is more of a military style high and tight, but I let it grow out just for the winter, so I'll cut it. It'll be short before no time. So let me start over. Jenny ELJ, Serranos, Steve Hawley, Matt Felty, Alex Moore, Thad the Man, Blaine's Escape Corner. Happy birthday to Mrs. Escape Corner. Their Attacks, Alias, lots of scrolling tonight. Carl and Dresden. Thank you guys for being part of the chat. Thank you guys for making this show better, for your contributions, for your thoughts, for your words. Just stopping by to say hello. Like I said, I'm the host. I come in here and talk. I'm the one who streams. I'm the one who run in my mouth. But you guys, what y'all contribute to this stream is great. And gee. y'all make this show better. Y'all get just giving me something to people to play off of, get me thinking about other things, bring in side commentary, whatever. Again, this is, if you guys got an opinion, y'all share it. I know that none of you guys are shy about doing that, and it's great. And I cannot thank you enough. That's why I thank every show for the folks who contribute. It's great, and I really appreciate it. And also, Mr. Jab Slant, shalom. What's going, sir? What's going on, Mr. Slant? It's good. It's good sharing some stream time with you on Blaine's stream Thursday, Friday. I think it was Thursday. I can't remember. Anyway, to everybody who was listening, like G, anybody who is listening, and either can't or don't want to comment, that's great. I encourage people to participate in the chat, but really, I'm just glad that you guys find something that you guys can tune into night in and night out. Thank you. Thank you for your attention. Everybody who is catching this stream on replay, thank you for tuning in, and I hope to catch you live sometime. Everybody, we got a nice week ahead of us. You guys have a good night, and God bless.